Hello and good evening. Welcome back. In case you're wondering, I done my exercises as given to me in previous books, and I'm feeling better now. And yes, you are wondering, yes, I have made this a separate video because I didn't think some people would want that rant. It's optional. Now I'm going back into this. I've got my book. I've got my therapy dog who says hello. Now, let's get back to it, shall we? You sit there. Just sit next to me, mate. It'll make me feel better. Okay. Compulsions. Compulsions, also called neutralizing or safety-seeking behaviors, are the physical or mental actions and reactions that follow from intrusive thoughts or obsessions, which are motivated by the meaning which the intrusion has for them. There are two types of compulsions, which are best understood in terms of what the person is trying to do. One is to verify, meaning to check or to make sure of something, just in case you didn't know. Most commonly by physical or mental checking. The idea is that if you verify things, you can either feel completely sure that it is okay, or put it right if it is not. Excuse me. Second type of compulsion, restitution, is where the person aims to put right, make amends, or correct something that they think has already happened. For example, by cleaning something thoroughly which they regard as contaminated, by thinking a positive thought after having a negative thought they regard as dangerous. Yes, that is very true. Excuse me. People typically carry out compulsions for two important reasons. Firstly, to try to prevent the harm for which they fear they might be responsible from happening. And secondly, to reduce their levels of discomfort, meaning anxiety, shame, sadness, or anger. As such, the compulsions make sense as a response motivated by how a person has interpreted the obsessions. For example, if you're very worried about making yourself or others ill by contaminating them with something you have on your hands or body, it makes sense to do a lot of cleaning and washing. It does. I think I explained before about the sudden urge I get at times to just wash my hands. If you feel anxious that something may happen to a loved one, do everything you can to make sure it doesn't happen. In addition to the sometimes but not always anxiety reducing effect of that, you may have found that going through a ritual relieves or soothes the anxiety for a short time, sometimes by taking your mind away from the main worry. Though it is understandable why people suffering from OCD do rituals in this way, including seeking reassurance from others, the longer term the effect is to increase worry, preoccupation and anxiety. It is a bit like using a drug. It may make you feel better immediately, but you pay for your relief in the longer term by needing to ritualize and avoid more and more. Compulsions at their most obvious can be physical actions, which will be visible to someone else present, known as overt compulsions, or behaviors that go on in your own head, known as covert compulsions, such as checking your memory, saying a prayer or good word after thinking something bad, even internally arguing with oneself. Yeah, I think I've mentioned that I do most of this mental stuff most of the time. It's also possible and very common to undertake more than one compulsion in response to a particular obsessional thought. There are also a number of other possible reactions to having obsessions, such as the avoidance of particular people, places or relatives, or trying to push the thoughts away. These will be discussed in much more detail later. Common compulsions and the obsessions and approach that they are often related to are shown below. And you have a graph here, look. See? I'm going to go through them. Intrusive thought. There might be blood in my food. Appraisal. I could catch the disease and die. Compulsion. Check all food carefully. Thought. This is contaminated with germs. Appraisal. I might be responsible for spreading contamination. Compulsion. Wash self. Thought. My appointment is on Friday the 13th. Appraisal. Something bad might happen. Compulsion. Change the appointment. Intrusive. Have I left the front door open? Appraisal. Someone could break in and steal everything and it would be my fault. Compulsion. Go back and check. Thought, did I run someone over without realising it? Appraisal, I could be a killer. Compulsion, go back and check. Listen out. Go back and check. Listen out for unusual noises when driving. I think, I just realised we went through these the other day, but you know what? I'm going to finish this. I've started, I finish. Now on to images. Mum dead in a car crash. Appraisal, this could be a premonition. Compulsion, cross fingers and think of a positive image. Images, abusing a baby or child. Appraisal, I must be the bad P word. Compulsion, avoid all children. Urges, I must touch that or I won't feel right. Appraisal, I could feel uncomfortable forever. Compulsion, touch it in groups of 7 until feeling goes. So I'm lucky because I don't really relate to these end ones. But you know what? I'm still going to read them. Urge to jump in front of a train. Appraisal, I might be crazy. Compulsion, never go near platform edge. Last urge to physically assault someone. Appraisal, I'm capable of doing something terrible. But technically we all are, really, if you think about it. Compulsion, sit on hands. And that ends compulsions. Now on to impairment and distress. The final element in understanding OCDs is the interference caused by the problem. Interference seems too mild a word for the havoc wreaked by the problem. Negative appraisals in OCD invariably cause anxiety, but can also be linked with other negative emotions such as shame, depression, distrust and anger. The anxiety is significant, that is. It tends to last for a long time and comes back after a short while. Continuously or repeatedly feeling anxious is very unpleasant in itself. Feeling unsafe and anxious can also affect your sleep and appetite and can cause you to become irritable with those around you. If you perform compulsions to try to manage these feelings or to stop bad things happening, it's likely that the urge to do this does not always come at a convenient time. Most people with OCD find that they begin to prioritise their rituals and compulsions over other things, and may find that doing compulsion takes up an increasing amount of time, or amounts of times. Then this has a knock-on effect on other things. Often this means being late for activities and appointments, or avoiding a particular place or seriousness to try to avoid distress and anxiety from having negative thoughts or doing compulsions. People can spend vast amounts of money they can't afford on cleaning and washing products or getting rid of things that seem to them marred, spoiled or contaminated. Sometimes people go to great lengths, even moving house or country, to try to get away from contamination. Friends and families are often very concerned about a loved one who is caught up in rituals and obsessions. It can be heartbreaking to see someone in states of high distress. It may be very difficult for you to explain what is happening if you are not sure yourself, or if you are experiencing a great deal of shame about your difficulties. If you are doing a lot of compulsions such as cleaning, it may be difficult for those who live with you to follow the same rules, or live up to the same standards as if they do not have an obsessional problem. They probably do not share the same underlying beliefs or concerns. Following your rules may be stressful for you and for them. This issue often causes conflict within families. We'll talk more about this and how to tackle it in Chapter 8. Hooray, although I'm nowhere near Chapter 8 yet. Although some people with obsessive compulsive disorder are able to continue to work and have a social life, others find that they have no choice but to give up on most other things. In fact, they've become full-time OCDers. OCD tends to creep into more and more areas of your life, taking it over. And this bit finishes off with a key idea. Compulsions make sense as a response to the interpretation of obsessions. However, they are likely to have an increasingly negative impact on you and those around you. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier. My obsessions and my compulsions are taking me over. And I'm so glad I'm reading this book, because it's helping me come to terms with it. I mean, eventually it's going to get on with things I can do to make it better. Hopefully. Now, normally I read 2 bits and leave it, but as it's only been 10 minutes, I might just carry on if I give this other bit a quick check. Oh, that's quite long. You know what? Let's start. self-assessment section. So do I have OCD? Below are some of the symptoms people commonly experience as part of OCD. As you will see, the answers describe thoughts and behaviours in a quite general way. This is because the specific content of worries and particular behaviours can be very individual. The questionnaire asks you to think about how much distress the particular symptom is causing you. There is no particular number that indicates whether you have OCD, as some people will be bothered by many of the things listed below, while others will only be bothered by a few. The purpose of the questionnaire is to get you thinking not just about whether you have obsessions or compulsions, but about the degree to which you are bothered by these types of symptoms. This is a questionnaire that has been used extensively in clinical work and research. Try not to worry if you don't understand every statement, or you think it doesn't apply to you. Just move on to the next item. The following statements refer to experiences which many people have in their everyday lives. Common level distress. Please circle the number that best describes how much that experience has distressed or bothered you during the past month. Numbers in this column will refer to the following labels. You have 0, not at all, to 4, extremely. So let's start. Number 1. Unpleasant thoughts come into my mind against my will and I cannot get rid of them. Yes, that happens a lot. I'm going to make that a 3. So I'm sure there's people out there who have it worse than I do. 2. I think contact with bodily secretions, i.e. perspiration, saliva, blood, urine, etc. may contaminate my clothes or somehow harm me. Yeah, that's I'm going to make that a 2. I ask people to repeat things to me several times even though I understood them the first time. I always like to make sure, so we'll call that a 3. I wash and clean obsessively. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'll make that a 2. I have to review mentally past events, conversations and answers to make sure that I didn't do something wrong. Sometimes I do, but I struggle to remember it, so we'll make that a 1. I've saved up so many things that they get in the way. Yes, well, not as much as I used to have. I mean, I've gone rid of quite a few things over the times, but I have shown tendencies to hoard. And I understand how people get into it. I check things more often than necessary. Oh yes, that's a number. I'll give that a 3, that one. I avoid using public toilets because I'm afraid of disease or contamination. No, that doesn't bother me at all. That's a 0. If I gotta go, I gotta go. No, please check doors, windows, drawers, etc. all the time. I make that a 4. Excuse me. Then, I please check gas and water taps and light switches after turning them off. Yes, a lot. Number 3. I make that a 3. 11. I collect things I don't need. I collect things I want, but I don't need them. It's like my fridge magnets. I have a lot of fridge magnets. Do I need them? No. Do I want them? Yes. Do I need this t-shirt with Belgium in on it? Which, ironically, I did get in Belgium. No. Do I want it? Yes. I don't know how to answer that one, really. So we'll skip it. I have thoughts of having hurt someone without knowing it. Oh yes, that terrifies me. I make that a 2. I have thoughts that I want to harm myself or others. No, I don't. I get upset if objects are not arranged properly. Sorry, let me read that again. I get upset if objects are not arranged properly. Yes, I do a lot. We'll make that a 4. So it really does get to me, that one. I feel obliged to follow a particular order in dressing, undressing and washing myself. I made that a 2 because I'm not too sure. I think I do in a way, but I'm not. Massive. Okay. I feel compelled to count while I'm doing things. Sometimes, yes. Make that a 2. I'm afraid of impulsively doing embarrassing or harmful things. Yes, that's a 3. I need to pray to cancel bad thoughts or feelings. Ooh, now there's a funny one. Sometimes I think about praying. I'm not sure if I believe God, but I think about praying, but I think I'd be a hypocrite if I did. You know that, I really do. I mean, I'm sure you understand that. I keep on checking forms or other things I've written. No, I don't. I get upset at the sight of knives, scissors and other sharp objects in case I lose control of them. No, I don't. That's a 0 again. I'm excessively concerned about cleanliness. Not massively, just my own up to a point. Call that 1. If I deal with touch an object when I know it has been touched by strangers to certain people. No, that's a 0. Leave things to be arranged in a particular order. Maybe that 2, because sometimes I do, sometimes it doesn't bother me at all. I'll give you 100 more because I repeat things over and over. Not sure how to answer that one. I feel like I have to repeat certain numbers. No, that's a 0. We're on number 26 and there's 42 altogether, so brace yourself, people. After doing something carefully, I still have the impression I have not finished it. Sometimes, yes. Find it difficult to touch garbage or dirty things. Oh god, yes, that's a 4. Find it difficult to control my own thoughts. Yes, that's a 4. I do things over and over until it feels right. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I sit behind pleasant thoughts that come into my mind against my will. Yes, that's partially most of my problems. Before going to sleep, I do certain things in a certain way. Not really, no. I go out of the place to make sure that I have not harmed anyone. No, don't do that. When you get nasty thoughts, I have difficulty in giving. Depends on what you consider nasty. I mean, I suppose my thoughts are more negative than nasty, really. Excuse me. I avoid throwing things away because I'm afraid I might need them later. Yeah, I think we all do that, don't we? Because you never know. I might get upset if others change the way I've arranged my things. Yes, definitely, that's a 4. Don't touch my stuff, people, please do not. I feel that I must repeat certain words or phrases in my mind in order to wipe out bad thoughts, feelings, or actions. Sometimes, yes. After I have done things, I have persistent doubts about whether I really did them. Yes. Yes, all the time. Sometimes I have to wash or clean myself simply because I feel contaminated. Yes. I've already discussed this. I feel that there are good and bad numbers. I'm pretty certain 13 is a bad number. I periodically check anything which might cause a fire. Yes. Even when I do something very carefully, I feel that it is not quite right. Sometimes, yeah. And lastly, I wash my hands more often or longer than necessary. No, I don't. I wash them, but it's usually just a quick wash. Okay. My throat's starting to hurt, so I'm not going to read much more of this, okay, people? So after that has thing that says my problem doesn't fit. I don't have compulsions. Let's have a look. Sometimes people are acutely aware that they have unpleasant obsessional thoughts, but do not feel that they have any compulsions. This may be the case, and you may be continuing your life despite having lots of obsessions. People say that although they are not performing obvious compulsions in terms of what they do, the quality of their life is affected by the torment caused by their obsessions. Yeah, that's me. Compulsions are in fact always there, but they can be hidden. In some cases, the compulsions are very subtle, may be more related to avoiding particular activities. Let's see. In others, the compulsions are all internal, often referred to as neutralizing, including not only mental checking by going over things in your mind and restitution, in which you try to put things right in your head by thinking a good thought to balance a bad one, for example. Or by but also things like mental arguing, trying to things out that there is nothing to worry about, type of self-assurance seeking, or by directly seeking reassurance from those around you. Whether your compulsions are external, like washing or checking, or internal, like neutralizing, it is still obsessive compulsive disorder. Next bit. My problem doesn't fit. I don't have compulsion. Oh no, it's the same title. New paragraph. It is also the case that people find it hard to describe the particular thoughts related to their compulsions. For example, if you are very used to washing your hands in a ritualistic manner, you may do this each time whether or not you have a particular thought. Yes, that is correct. However, it is likely that when it originally developed, the behaviour was response to a thought and has with the passage of time become more like a habit that is done automatically. One way of thinking about this is if you drive a car, or if not when crossing the road as a pedestrian. You probably stop at red traffic lights quite habitually. Yeah, that's true, I do. How often do you think about why you stop, or the contrary of not stopping when you approach a red light? Rarely, really. I just know it's there. Red light is there because it's not safe. If your brakes were to fail when you're approaching a red light, the underlying reasons for stopping will soon come flooding back quickly and vividly. For those who have no obvious obsessional thought, the fact that you are continuing to do your rituals or compulsions, even though there is a cost to you in terms of time taken up, interference with your life and distress, suggests that there is an underlying reason that is preventing you just giving them up, and that underlying reason will be submerged, an invisible obsessional force with which you have stopped being aware of, in the same way that you have stopped being aware of why you stop at a red traffic light. The only way to find out what this is to conduct your own experiment, where you actually try to stop doing the ritual or compulsion. This is of course very hard to do, and it might be a good idea to seek support from someone close to you when you try to do it. This also has the advantage of giving you someone to talk to about it when you have tried this experiment. Some people reading this book might not have told anyone at all about their problem. Although understandable, perhaps this is now the time to open up to someone you trust, so you can get the support that you need to help you change. I need that person, really. Not sure how I should really talk to, apart from you people. Usually the obsessional thoughts related to the compulsions come to the forefront of a person's mind when they do this finding out exercise, i.e. when you try to actively stop doing the compulsion. Might also consider whether what is going on is happening as a mental image, picture, impulse or urge, or a doubt about something you consider important. However, this is not always the case. You should not worry if it is hard to identify clear obsessional thoughts. For a small number of people, the obsessional thoughts have faded away to nothing, leaving the compulsion as a habit. If this is the case, then you can simply phase out the compulsion. And that, people, is where we end tonight, because my throat's starting to hurt. There's much more to do in another chapter, so hopefully you're all well. I'm feeling better than I was, so great. I hope you're feeling great too. If not, reach out, send me a message, and I'll say hello back. And I mean that, alright? So until next time, it's bye from me. It's bye from Mr. Book. And it's bye from my therapy dog, who I've nicknamed Slow Down Milosevic. I used to have a basset hound. It was great. His name was Fred though. Yeah, I know, you find lots of basset hounds named Fred. The name given by previous owner. Didn't feel right to change it, although apparently if you do have a dog and you want to change it, what you do is you got to put the old name and mix it with the new one. So, example, if I had a dog called Fred and I want to change the name to Slow Down Milosevic, I would say Fred Slow Down Milosevic to call him, so that he would hear Fred and he would also recognise Slow Down Milosevic as well. Although really I'll probably just call him Slow Down for short. So eventually you keep going, Fred slow down, Fred slow down, Fred slow down, and eventually that dog would recognise slow down as part of a name. So eventually you can start testing. You can, instead of saying Fred slow down, you could just say slow down. And if they acknowledge you, then you know it's working. And that, people, is how you give a dog a new name. Bet you never thought you'd get that at the end of an OCD video, would you? Hey? What do you reckon, Slow Down, eh? He's brilliant, this dog. What? Yeah, I know, we're meant to be saying goodbye, weren't we? Yes, we were. Right, it's goodbye from me, goodbye Book, and goodbye from Slow Down, okay? Bye.